YouTube, Glow Yard Gang, podcast listeners across the globe. Welcome to another episode of We Talk Combat, where we talk all things combat, sports, and sports entertainment. We got another one for your head top here. Just had a PLE about a couple minutes. What is that? About 45 minutes or so earlier. Crown Jewel PERTH. We're going to give our review on that and the rest of the week in WWE product. If you didn't know already, I am one of your hosts. I go by the name of King. I'm joined by my fellow co-hosts. First and foremost, what up, Queen? How are you today, babe?
I'm excellent. It's a wonderful Saturday as opposed to a Sunday, since we all had to be up early for a PLE. How are you doing?
I'm great, babe. And yes, it is a Saturday instead of a Sunday. I forgot to say that. So thank you for joining us at a special time, everybody that does join us. Travis, what up, bro? How are you today?
I'm doing good, brother. How are you?
Cannot complain again. Appreciate you for asking. And last but not least, our guy. He is very, I guess, fashionably late today. It's our guy, BA. How are you today, bro?
I'm good. Just wrapped up some stuff on the Geek channel. Now we're talking about comebacks. Let's rock.
Let's do this. All right, y'all. If you didn't know already, please follow us on our other channel. We have We Talk Combat Clips. We have the condensed versions of these shows. Follow us over there. Help us get our subscriber count. We appreciate the folks that have been subscribing over there. We notice the subscribers. Also, if you could do us a favor, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel over by BA's left shoulder, somewhere near there. Hit that like button if you could as well. If you like this type of content, help us get out in the algorithm to other combat fans like yourself, and also hit the notification bell so that you're notified whenever we have these special shows. If it's not on a Saturday or some other day, we may give you some content. But other than that, we usually give our highs and lows of wrestling product. We give you a little bit of wrestling tea, and later on in the day, we'll answer some questions and comments if you have any. And if there's any questions or comments, we ask that you hit us with the @ WTC, so we know you're talking to us and not one of your fellow Glow Yard Gang members. And let's get straight to the highs and lows. All right, everybody. We had an eventful week in WWE. We had a Raw, as always, on Monday. As you can see from the picture of the podcast, getting a count-out victory over Becky Lynch. So that was the major thing, I guess, that was different in that show. On Tuesday, we had NXT Showdown, where you can see the Hardy Boys actually won the title match with Dark State, and they're now the TNA and also NXT Tag Team Champions. We also, on Friday, were reintroduced to the MFTs again, with Tama Tonga returning on SmackDown, which was an awesome point. And then also later on, which just happened, as we said, we had Crown Jewel PERTH. And I'll give out the results of that show if you haven't seen them already. This opening match was Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed in an Australian street fight. The winner of that match was Bronson Reed, by surprise, actually, I guess, to many. Second, we had Tiffany Stratton versus Stephanie Vaquer for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship, which was won by Stephanie Vaquer. Third, we had, John Cena against AJ Styles for the final time. And John Cena found a way to get the victory in that match. The co-main event was the Kabuki Warriors going against Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, and in her hometown. And the hometown lady and Io Sky got the victory there. And last but not least, we had Cody Rhodes going one-on-one against Seth Rollins for the males or the men's Crown Jewel Championship, and Seth Rollins got the victory there. So with all that being said, let's go around the room. Roundtable side. Oops, sorry. And get everybody's opinion on the product. Let's start with you, Travis, since I guess Queen got dropped off. What were your highs and lows of this week's WWE product, Travis, and what's your overall letter grade?
Man, for this week of wrestling, the entirety of this week of wrestling, it was pretty much average for me, for real. Gonna start off, of course, my boy LA Knight getting the dub over Jey Uso. I know that's not a big deal to y'all, but it's it's a big deal to me. What else happened?
It's definitely not a big deal.
Now, NXT, because this is where I want to get out the most. Is because I call NXT straight to the T like I did last week. I said that the women was actually going to beat the women of TNA. I'm sorry, and then the NXT men was going to lose to the men of TNA. But with this PLE though, like it was pretty much average. It wasn't that much better than WrestlePalooza. Um, the highlight of the whole thing for me was really Cody losing to Seth, like I predicted last week. We got some nostalgia from John Cena and AJ Styles with the wrestling moves of the past opponents that John Cena did. AJ Styles with his ring gear. Yes, but that's really what I want to talk about for real. I mean, other than that, I give this whole entire week of wrestling basically a C. That's including everything.
So that's including Raw, NXT,
Raw,
SmackDown, and
Raw,
Crown
SmackDown,
Jewel.
NXT, and today's PLE.
Okay. All right. Did you happen to see any TNA by chance, Impact?
I mean, I did see the promo between Trick Williams and Mike Santana. I mean, from what I say from that, I mean that match for the TNA Championship should be pretty exciting. You know, the whole Mike Santana saying that Trick was basically a one-trick pony. Trick's telling Mike that he's basically going to send him back to rehab and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, if you're a Bound for Glory fan, I mean, I said Bound for Glory, a TNA fan, I will be looking forward to that match anyway. So y'all got a heater coming tomorrow.
All right. So we got a C from Travis. All right, Queen, since you're there, babe, what are your highs and lows of this week's WWE product, and what's your letter grade? Uh-oh, is she there? She might be frozen again. BA, we go to you then next, bro.
Cool. So Monday Raw was cool. I didn't really have no big issues when it came to Raw. Roman opening the show was great. Maxine Dupree showing out. She really showed out. She looked like she's actually been focusing on her craft, because I don't think she came in as like a real wrestler. More like a manager type of a face, that kind of a thing. And Becky once again put on a good match. Gave her time to recuperate throughout the match. She was taking a lot of breaks and things like that, playing to the crowd and stuff, giving her a chance to to get her footing underneath of her. So I noticed those type of things. And the count out victory, shout out to count outs. I love when we get old school victories of some kind. Like they still matter. So they matter because when someone's out the ring and they started counting, it's a slimmer hope that they might actually get a count out. Like that's what that's supposed to do. So shout out to the fact that happened. And I know I said in the chat, like, yo, I'd rather see Maxine Dupree put on a little bit more shows than Laura. I think she's way more entertaining. I think she's more of a draw than Laura Valkyrie. So that's just me personally. So hopefully they see that. Something has to happen from this other than just her getting this victory. And the fact that Kairi Sane beat Io, that was cool. I like the Asuka help with that, and just Roman and Jay in their interactions, and Roman and Jimmy's interactions, helped the show progress throughout the whole entire thing. So it was a flow to the show, and I appreciate Raw for that. NXT, the showdown was. It was cool. It was cool. I'm kind of, and I guess this leads to a little bit in the future. I'm kind of over the Hardy Boys. I've seen enough of them, and they're still like actively fighting, and I'm just like, y'all not how y'all was 20 years ago, and your whole thing was based off of high impact moves. So if you're not high impactful anymore, then what we doing here? So, but they won. Okay, give them that. All right, they won. The four ways was cool. Both 4 ways was cool. Except for my girl missing that moonsault. I'm not even gonna say her name on there. I'm not gonna do that. But she missed the hell out of that moonsault. But the Kalani showed out and everything like that. But she had to get they won. No, her team lost.
think
NXT men, and that was cool too. Javon Evans did his thing as I expected. Everybody had their parts, their segments, but everyone goes to the end of the match. And Trick leaving, and Trick just said hell with it. And I'm not mad for it. It does create for storylines later on that he can easily close out his tenure here on NXT/TNA and get called up. So I'm okay with that. I did have a little hope for me, just a little bit of hope, saying, Ricky might just take out two, maybe three guys, and then he gets pinned, and then Trick comes back out and then wins the video. Like I had a slimmer hope, but as 9:58 hit, I said, that's not happening. So it is what it is when it comes to that. And moving forward, SmackDown was once again, SmackDown was entertaining. Not once again, it once in a while. SmackDown was definitely entertaining. It hasn't always been. Shout out to the new MFT. They're back in full effect. Street Profits caught another L, in which we expected. I told you, the Wild Scissors going to have the belt at least until Halloween. And MFT's coming back looking like Halloween as figures is helping everything, right? So they're gonna have their little feud, which is a long overdue, to be honest with you. And just SmackDown as a whole was okay. And everything was in preparation of the fight. But shout out to Damian Priest. He put on a hell of a show, but he caught that L. And Aleister Black and his shorty, that they are focusing on partnerships. And I just hope they continue on focusing on partnerships, especially marriage partnerships, not just anybody that's getting hooked up these days. Let's focus on marriage, like you actually did the commitment part, so that we might actually elevate you that way. And I'm okay with that, because there's a couple other people that can use a little bump, especially my man Ted. So hopefully this helps him out. So I'm watching you. I'm watching right now. I saw a little bit of TNA. I saw definitely, like I said, I tuned in for Trick when it comes to Trick and A, and that was cool. That segment was cool. He's definitely over in that crowd. Like, he's in TNA, and he drowned out everything that Mike Santana was trying to do. And I watched the Joe Hendry fight. And that was his street fight. I don't see him do too many street fights, so I just wanted to see how he was going to do in that against Eric Young. And he lost. He definitely lost, but I expect a lot of L's coming now, because he's pretty much making his way to NXT. So, and then to the main roster after that. So, all right, that's cool. Crown Jewel. Once again, shout out to what's the guy we had on the show of the first our first host, our first guest.
Bobby Monsoon.
Bobby.
Our first guest, I thought was
The
Dietrich, then Bobby, then our
No,
last
it
one
was Bobby. It was Bobby
It
first,
was
wasn't it? Then
It was
Dietrich.
Bobby, then Dietrich.
Okay, right. So I'm referring to Dietrich. He brought something to my eyes, to all of our eyes, that it wasn't too many black representation on the first Wrestling Palooza for ESPN. This is the second ESPN promotion. Am I correct? Crown Jewel was on ESPN.
Facts.
There's nobody that looks like us on that particular showcase, so that automatically puts a foul taste in my mouth. Pause. So we're going to go from that moment to just the matches itself. It was cool. I'm not necessarily a fan of the whole entire card. I'm thinking they're doing a little bit too much for, let's say, Stephanie. I think they have a rocket on her, that she's going to be just on that incline, and no one's going to be able to take her down. That's what it seems like. And it starts now. I guess it starts now. That's why I say I feel sorry for Naomi. Naomi had no shot of retaining that belt. When they fought each other, Stephanie was going to win. And Stephanie's going to ride that into this particular main event, and then so on and so forth. So I'm glad that Naomi can take a break. So hopefully some of that steam will wear off. So when Naomi comes back, she can get that title. But she was not going to carry this title into Crown Jewel.
You seeing the beginnings of someone becoming super? Am I getting it correct?
This is it. This is what we're
Okay.
looking at right now. Um, and it's very fast. It's very fast. So hopefully it could if they could do it for her, they can do it for others. Let's say that, right? Let's put that out there. Um, so there you go for that. The 4-way. I said this last week. I wish that they would have featured Carrie Zane. I think like let her get some shine. Like nobody else needed extra promotion here. Nobody else needed time. Like EO is EO. Rhea she was in her hometown. She was in Australia. Like win or lose, she was going to get cheered and loved. Like it wasn't even a problem for her. And Oscar is the multiple champions and everything. She got all the accolades. Give her some love. Give the fourth one some love. Like it was a moment for her to dominate, and they just completely went the fan route and just gave it to Rhea and Io. I'm over that part of it, right? Let's have some type of substance when it comes to fighting. The Cena match was cool. It was it was nostalgic, and that's all it was. They get an A for that. Just they get an A because they did everything that a nostalgia match should do. It has no implications on anything else. It was just a one-off match, and they brought out some fan favorites and everything like that without bringing out the people. It was cool. I have no issues with that. Roman, it's cool. Roman lost. It is what it is. It just shows, I guess, it starts to show the dominance of Brunson and everything like that. And I guess they need their shine, right? That's the most important thing. Roman doesn't necessarily have to win every single match, but Roman's aura is fading. I don't like that. I don't like Roman's aura fading. I'm not a fan of that. I like him as this Paul's mythological creature, as I call him. Like that's cool. Once you start chinking on that armor, he's become a regular guy. I don't like to see Roman as a regular guy. So there's that. And shout out to Seth. I think we all knew Seth was going to win. He wasn't going to continue to lose to Cody. No Brock, no Usher person, just a watch that knocked out Cody. Oh, a watch. I never seen a watch knock out somebody, but that must be a very titanium lace, steel lace, with lead infused type of a watch in order to knock him out, so he can do his double stomps to win the game. So it is what it is. Overall, not to be so long winded, I apologize. I'm giving it a C. I'm giving it a C. The week was cool, to be honest with you. The week it had like a B, like I was riding this B wave. Pause. It didn't. Then the pay-per-view, the PLE came, so it dropped it down to a C for me.
All right, Baby Beck.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
here.
Okay. What are your highs and lows for the week, and what's your overall grade for the entire week?
Well, no need to parrot a lot of what everybody else said already as well. I felt like actually the week shows were stronger actually than they've been recently. My only real complaint, and I did do the same complaint last week, I didn't feel like Rhea's position in that match against the Kabuki Warriors made sense. And again, I feel like they just did it just because we were having a PLE. So they kind of forced it to quickly move along. With AJ Styles, he basically was the only one promoting this match because we weren't seeing Cena. So it was kind of like a thrown together dream match from the people. But I thought that match actually was pretty. It had its moments where it was very boring for me. Like, so I'm saying that definitely in the Discord that it was boring. But I did enjoy seeing his little callback moves to other wrestlers that he's wrestled and stuff like that. So that was kind of like a little heartwarming part of it. But also a lot of other people that we saw him do moves are gone or they're on their way out too as well. So that was definitely a nostalgia match. So that's why they booked it. Um, Back to the weekly show. I feel like this week we saw a lot of people that we don't always see normally, or we got to hear a lot more from them. We finally got to see the build up to the Aleister Black Damian Priest match, but it ended up being, actually not too terrible actually. But Damian Priest lost, which I kind of expected that. I'm glad that the solo storyline is back. It was crazy because they were shouting "fuck Solo" actually from the crowd. So he was definitely getting the heel love, like you know what I mean. Like, 'cause obviously heel love ain't the same as the claps; it's the boos. So they were getting a nice cavalcade of boos and yells, and we got to see them out with the face page, which I didn't actually have a problem with. I thought it looked kind of cool It's on brand right now for being a Halloween month, and it kind of made them look like more of a cohesive unit. I felt like. So I actually
It
did
looked
enjoy
dead
seeing them come
president-ish
out,
to me.
but I didn't like that there was, yes, it did, and it looked intimidating, and it obviously is a different look on them than it is the Wyatt Six because those guys, because MFTs are like all of them are big dudes. You know what I mean? They're either husky or they're tall and husky,
And
so
none of them are
they
white.
kind of look more intimidating. Yeah, and none of them are Caucasian. They're all people of color. So as I said, I mean, I'm always a solo fan, so I enjoyed that. Um, Now, just to kind of just harp on Crown Jewel a little bit, I want to say I think I had two predictions that were wrong. Which one I was the Cena and AJ Styles. I thought AJ was going to win. He did not win. And I thought Rhea was going to lose, but she did not lose. But other than that, I felt like it was kind of what I said it was going to be, was that the energy was mostly at the beginning and the end of the card. That was where the energy really was. Is that it was the first match just because it was the first match, and because of who it was, being Roman and Bronson Reed. But I don't actually think that was a bad match at all. It was definitely a story match because you had Roman fussing at them because he felt like they messed everything up for him. The Usos being there made sense. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't just unnecessary interference. It was definitely storyline interference. Like it was, we needed Roman to lose that one by pin. You know what I mean? Because Roman don't be losing by pins ever. So it was kind of like more of a, he put Bronson Reed on, like, you know what I mean? Like he said, yeah, here's your moment. And obviously Jay's already had his moments. We just wait for Jimmy really to come to get some moments of himself and get maybe a belt on his own. Possibly would be nice, but I thought that match was pretty decent. I I do feel like Braun Breaker was having way too much fun in that match, doing a bunch of I can't even think right now, spears into everybody. Like there was a bunch of spears actually just happening all around. Like especially the one where Jay speared into Roman into the table. That was a nice one because we got to see some damage, because at the end of the day that was supposed to be an Australian street match. I don't feel like they went as hard as what we expected in terms of using weaponry and stuff like that. And I would have enjoyed more of that because it was kind of hyped as being that. Like I kind of, not to sound like evil, but I kind of wanted to see some blood. You know what I mean? Because you're expecting it's an Australian street match, you're expecting it to be crazy. So I don't feel like it got as crazy as it was billed to be, but it was still an okay match. Stephanie and Tiffany. Stephanie is very stale in her move set. You can usually guess pretty early when she's going to do what move. She did a little butt move quickly.
Did we lose her? Trying to give you a second. Okay. I guess I'll go. When she come back, we'll get the rest of her. What everybody said. You guys are right. Raw was probably the weakest show of the week. Maybe Crown Jewel. Between Raw and Crown Jewel, I gotta sit back and probably watch Crown
Sorry, my
Jewel
Ethernet
again.
cable fell out of my laptop. I know I was in the middle.
You're fine. Go ahead. Go ahead if you want to finish yours before I even really start. You hear me? You were at go ahead, Quinn. You can go. You were at Tiffany and what's her name? Stephanie, and talking about Stephanie
Stephanie's
being
match.
stale and all that. Yes.
Stephanie for the most part. Tiffany for the most part actually was pretty clean for once. Like I really didn't even have any issues with saying that she was doing botches, but I do feel like her and Stephanie do not have natural chemistry. So that was kind of giving some moments that kind of didn't do favor for either of them. But I did expect that Stephanie was going to get the fast track, so we all kind of predicted she was going to win this match as she did. But it kind of messes up other storylines. Since if we go back 2 weeks ago when Jade got injured, really Jade was supposed to be the one with her in Crown Jewel. Like that was how it was supposed to really turn out. But obviously, we know Jade got injured in the match with Nia Jax, and the fatal. It was a three-way, right?
The
Yeah, I think
triple
it was a
threat
three-way match with her, Nia, and Tiffany, and that obviously ended with Jade getting injured, so Jade wasn't there. So then they just did a swifty swap, and we're like, well, hey, let's put Stephanie in that position. So now that messes up the whole mystique of Tiffany's unbeatableness. You know what I mean? Like so. now when Jade comes back, if they do a match with her and like she doesn't beat Jade, I mean doesn't beat Tiffany, it's gonna look phony because Stephanie has already beat her now. So it just I feel like that probably wasn't good for the story, but it was good for the PLE though. You know what I mean? It was good for what the PLE needed it to be. Rhea actually surprised didn't get the pops that she normally gets over here, I felt like, and I felt like she was going to get a lot more excitement from the audience when she came out, because even though she's not, I think, from that part of Australia, she's still from Australia. So I was kind of surprised, and really the Kabuki Warriors and Io Sky were really getting the most energy from the crowds. Like they were really into them three. Like them three specifically, they were very into them. Like, and even when they were coming out with their themes, they were still getting loud pops, and then their move sets, they were getting loud pops. So it's funny because they turned out probably to be the most second most crowd engaging match of the night. The first being the John Cena match. But I wanted to touch on the Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins one, because I do think Seth Rollins injured himself during the match, because he's always just, I don't feel like he's very safe with himself. So he ended up, I'm pretty sure, injured, at least on his arm. That match, you know, I feel like Cody's little idea of aura that they've built around him it's really weak. Like, and especially in matches with him and Seth Rollins, or him and actually like him and CM Punk too, for example. Cody's aura of what he's supposed to, I guess, be or represent always kind of gets sucked out of the room when he does matches with Seth. And I think another issue is that Cody's kind of stale. Like he's kind of stale with his moves, and it kind of shows when he's more with somebody that else that's stale, which I think Seth Rollins is a little stale. That's probably why he messed up his arm. But I knew that those would be the matches that would get like the most attention and like the biggest, the biggest crowd interaction because of who they were. And obviously, we've seen the long-term build-up of the storyline for Cody as well as the Vision, and that's kind of where I wanted to end it. Was that the Vision actually were the winners of the crown jewel, because we had Brunson Reed and we had Seth Rollins win. So Heyman's stable wins again. To touch on what BA said, just to end the whole statement, is there would have been, I guess, just Jade being the person of color on the card, and then without her, they just, I guess, couldn't find anybody else, even though we have a bunch of people. And The Miz was in Australia, so why didn't we see Carmelo Hayes and somebody? Like, or even they could have had Carmelo Hayes and The Miz do another match. They could have just really made this a 6-match card, but they did stretch this shit out for like 4 hours. So I'm kind of glad that they didn't make it 5 hours. So if I throw this week together, which I do feel like Friday show was the stronger show. Actually, Friday morning's show was the stronger show of the week. Well, but yeah, I'll leave it at that. Yeah, that was the strongest of the week. So I'll probably just wrap it up by saying that the grade for the week I'm going to give. I know I feel like I'm being generous right now, but I'm going to give it a C plus, because I did actually enjoy the weekly shows more than I normally do. I usually have more criticism about them, but I did feel like this week I got to see a lot of people, and I got to see a lot of people I hadn't seen in a second too. So it kind of was a little bit more interesting, but yeah. I leave it at that. C plus.
All right, so we got C's across the board, a C plus. All right, let me go back to what I was saying. SmackDown was the strongest part of the week. I'm gonna try to just go from my highs to my lows, and not really touch on too much, which I got to do, what y'all talked about. The MFTs, I love that. I thought this is what they needed. I said before, Judgment Day is the team of Raw, and they don't really do as much as they should do, but they're all around. They get the championship, stay around. MFT is the stable of SmackDown, but they didn't do anything with them. They had them looking weak. Losing titles. Solo didn't do anything with his U.S. championship and all that stuff. So they needed to be represented, I guess, or rebranded or packaged in a way, and they actually did. I thought this was cool. They showed them multiple times throughout the night. They interfered, got involved, looked dominant. Face paint was cool. I know folks are mad about the face paint, but I believe Tonga and them actually used to wear face paint before he came to WWE. So it's actually like callback to how he used to be. It's like going back to
And the Usos
kicking
too
ass.
used to wear face paint as well.
Yeah, but as far as I'm just saying, as far as just like this is actually their face paint. Like that's the face paint that Tama Tonga used to wear exactly. So
So
I think
wait,
it's just like
so who? Real quick, bro. What were they saying that was negative about the face paint?
I don't know. People were saying they
Like,
didn't
if you
like
can
it.
summarize
I shout out to Bobby Monsoon. Bobby had a video saying like the Insane Clown Posse and all. Where did this face paint come from? And I'm like,
Oh, really?
Actually, it does.
Oh my god.
I don't know if Bobby. Shout out to my guy Bobby. I don't know if he actually knew that part, but
No. Shout out to Bobby. I was just saying, like,
yeah.
he
Tama
clearly
Tonga
heard that from
actually
somebody.
had a story before. You feel what I'm saying with the face paint. So folks may not know that that's actually his face paint that he used to wear. So I thought it was pretty cool with them. I actually SmackDown overall was probably like a B+ to me. Like SmackDown was an incredible show. They did it in that arena. I thought I was ready for the weekend to be like, damn, they about to get busy.
Yeah, they pulled my
Show
score up.
ESPN something, and here we go, Paul. But we know how Paul goes. The next NXT was probably like a B- to me, actually. NXT is always just good, but it could have been better than that. I felt like I wanted NXT to be like an A show for this showdown, but it was kind of predictable and just okay. Like you said, had moments. Trick did his thing and all. He the only person of the L's or the losers teams that didn't take an L or didn't get pinned, so that kept him strong as far as in that moment and all that. I appreciated that. Crown Jewel. It's funny as far as Crown Jewel. I think the best match. Geez, this is wild. Okay, so I was ready to give Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes like a B+ match. I was ready to say that's a good match. It was fine until the end. Once Seth did his coast to coast headbutt, and I think he hit his arm and kind of messed it up. It messed up the ending. They had to do an audible, and some of the moves it looked like rushed, and it was like this doesn't feel right. Like it's something. It didn't even get the feeling at the end and all as far as the curb stomp because you saw it from a mile away. It was like, all right, this is about to happen, and he did it again or whatever like that. So I guessing they still may have had the best match of the night. I don't know. My thing with John Cena and AJ Styles, I'm over the spot fest. Like I appreciate the nostalgia and all that stuff, but two things. One, both of these need to retire. That's what I got from this match first and foremost, because neither of their offenses is built to beat anybody anymore. Like John Cena does AA after AA, and nobody. Like this dude, we just said AJ Styles lost to Dominic Mysterio and all that stuff, and John Cena had to do all that to get a victory over AJ Styles. That's one. Two, it with like if it was a one-time spot fest, which they did spots like everybody moves and all over and over again, it would be cool. But it's becoming the John Cena norm now. So it's like you're kind of devaluing everybody's finishing move by constantly doing finishing moves and everybody kick out. But in general, the finishing move in general was kind of devalue because you just keep doing spots at PLEs instead of like building a match, going through the grind, destroying somebody, catching them with a finishing move. Bam, you can get a 1, 2, 3. That doesn't happen. It's just spots on spots and who gets the last spot, it feels like, as far as that. So I don't know about the John Cena and AJ Styles. Maybe I got to watch it again. I feel like that's a fun match when you watch it the first time. I feel like watching it again, it won't be as much fun as far as watching it over and over again. Roman and Brunson, I'm glad Brunson went over. I kind of expected him. He's a part of the Samoan tribe, just not their Samoan tribe. So I thought Roman would give him a victory with that. I did kind of like that Brunson and Braun Breaker were able to take care of Roman and both the Usos at the same time. That kind of made them look like that was like the strongest build they've ever had because it was 2 against the 3, basically main bloodline members, and they took care of them and had them basically on their backs. So I thought that was fine. But overall, a match, Roman Reigns got to pick it up a little bit. That slow stuff, I understand it before, and especially like during this era with the what is it, the Battle Dome and COVID and all that stuff before. That was cool as far as when it's the cameras in your face and no audience is there and they can hear everything you're saying and all. But like in some of the matches, I'm like, bro, you just slowing the pace a little too much, like trying to, I guess, play with the crowd and all. Like we're not back in the golden era. You feel me? So he kind of wrestles like that at sometimes. But I mean, it is what it is. His aura gets enough of a pop, and it usually generates a good enough product just based off of that. But like BA said earlier, he's starting to lose some of that, so it's not as entertaining. It's not as eye popping or eye catching, I should say. So yeah, that could have been That could have been basically a Raw match. They threw that on here for no reason, basically just to make it 5 matches. I knew Rhea and Io was going to win. They had a pretty decent match. That's the thing with WWE now. They have decent cards, decent matches. Like, guys don't have trash matches that often usually, but it's nothing special, if that makes sense. And even this card had nothing special for me. Tiffany, I can't believe Tiffany lost. I thought Tiffany was going to win. Like, Stephanie has the rocket on her back, but I thought Tiffany having that whole undefeated streak, like Queen said, that just built something for somebody to take it from her. And when they actually won the title, now it's like you done lost to Stephanie, so that's not even part of your story anymore. So I don't know. Overall, not that special. SmackDown, like I said, was the highlight. SmackDown, that Damian Priest, Aleister Black. I'm not even like a big fan of either one of this, but it was good to see somebody else finally be the main event of the show and all. Like, give us something different, a different storyline to end the show, a rivalry and all. It was good to call back to the Fireball little spot or whatever. Like, that hasn't been done in a second. Like, and they got it done correctly. It looked good. Like you said, shout out to introducing Zelina Vega to get her involved, because I know they were trying to find a way to keep her involved, especially after she mistakenly won the U.S. Championship and then had her little phony run. Maybe they call up now. I don't know if Lola Vice gets a call up now. We'll see if this has anything to do with Lola Vice now that her and Damian Priest are dating. Maybe that's a quick call up for them. But yeah, man, overall, SmackDown was a highlight. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say about SmackDown. I can't remember right now. MFTs. Cody was the weak part of SmackDown, the weakest part, really. Really, SmackDown could have damn near been an A if it wasn't for the promo at the beginning with Cody Rhodes. That took up too much time. It was BS. Oh, I remember the last thing I wanted to say. Crown Jewel about the PLEs. So before, the PLEs, they give you 5 matches. Now they used to give you like 7 matches. They only give you 5 now, which is cool. Because it's supposed to give you longer time with the matches to actually build up the matches, have longer matches, get classic matches, allegedly, whatever. But now Triple H is like having the PLEs be like 4 hours long with 5 matches. So all the matches kind of going a little too long now, because it's like, damn, you don't have enough matches for the card to have a 4 hour. That's like a damn near hour or 45 minutes a match. If you got 5 matches on for 4 hours, that's wild. But that's my gripe with that. Overall, I'm gonna give the week a C+. I'm gonna give it a C+. PLE disappointing though. Again, I don't think they should get anything more than a C+ from ESPN. I'm waiting to see their grade. If they give something more than this, then maybe WWE has paid them again in return. So I don't know what's going to happen, but that's my overall take for the week, man. But Travis, let's go to you, bro. What were our highs and lows brought to us by?
By the good people of Fanatics.
Yes, sir. This I Was Told segment is brought to you by the folks over at Fanatics. Fanatics is the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love the most, including WWE. You can earn fan cash to redeem when your orders, jersey protection for when your favorite player is traded or changes teams. They also have an unrivaled selection of authentic fan gear and Fanatics exclusives that are only available on the site. So if you need some merch and are interested in helping the channel, scan the QR code on the screen or follow the link, which is always in the description. All right, after a PLE, some merchandise and all, so definitely go to Fanatics, use our link or the QR code. Check us out. Check out the WWE selection. Buy something from there and help out the channel while you can. But let's get to the wrestling tea. All right, Joe. So first for the wrestling tea, we have the Hardys. See if I can put that in people's face, actually. They won the HOG or the, what is it called? House of Glory Tag Team Championship. So they are now currently 3 Tag Team Champions at the same time. So I guess BA, Travis, give your opinion on that. What do you guys feel about that? The Hardys are now at like 40-something apiece or whatever. 3
That's
different
6
companies, Tag Team Champions.
They walked around with 6 belts. That's crazy. That's 6 chips.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm over it. Like I said before, I could care less. It ain't 10. It ain't like Mercedes Moné. She now has 10 belts, I think. So it's not that, but it's enough. And they damn near 50, man. It's just just at this point you're hogging spotlight for other people. At this point, that's how I feel. That's honestly how I feel. When you're that, like, that's the respect, the credit and all that all right, that's cool. So if they have 3 belts at one time as a thank you for your efforts for all these different divisions and organizations, cool. But let them lose it relatively quickly. Don't have them go on no run or nothing like that, because now they just hogging other people from gaining spotlight, and I can't rock with that. So that's how I feel about it. They should lose it very quickly.
So will these belts be on the line against the Dudleys as well tomorrow?
Probably not.
Probably not. They're gonna show up with these belts. They're gonna show up with all 3 of them, right?
No,
They should. I think
Yeah, I
they
would
should.
think they
you
should.
think
And
they
they
should?
should. I mean, I don't think the Dudleys gonna win the match. So I would put all the belts on the line and put even more prestige on the match, right?
I mean, we'll probably make it more interesting.
All right.
Yeah, it's a
So
tag team match with 2 50-plus-year-old teams. I don't care.
they're gonna put somebody through a table. Put them through a table real quickly. Next we have a shout out to this. Shout out to what is this? Wrestling News. They put this up. Omos and Obafemi went face to face at an NXT live event. I think this was yesterday, and are allegedly set to wrestle at the next NXT live event, which may be today or tomorrow or so. So,
It's
anything to say
I
about that,
believe
guys?
it's tonight.
Okay, so tonight in Cleveland. So
It's
how do you guys
it's
feel about that?
tonight in Cleveland. Man,
This might be the start of his Undertaker path. Throw back to classic Undertaker with the gray. Vince would just send him out there to defeat monsters in a sense, right? He was the monster of all monsters in a sense. So he built that aura that way. So if Oba can start that process, and Omos is one of the, it's a hell of a one to choose, because he does make Oba look small, pause, like he's towering over him. So, let him get that, because there is no phenom type of a person like that in NXT. I know he just lost to Ricky's. I don't care about that. But there's no dominant figure like that. That's what I'm saying. So if he can start to, see how he does in a match. See, can he carry a match sometimes? Sometimes you gotta be the one to carry. Mark Calloway was carrying some matches against some of these older, bigger guys, Paul. So if he can do that, then hopefully they can carry that over into the main roster, and he should do the same exact thing. Don't let him be the phenom that we're seriously lacking in the main roster. So who knows?
If Brock Lesnar's last match is allegedly going to be possibly next year, SummerSlam in Minneapolis, his opponent should be Obafemi. By that point, Obafemi should be going through these monsters, Omos and everybody else, showing off, doing this type of stuff, because that's really what it should be leading up to.
He's basically running a gauntlet right now. He should be.
Yes, it should be that. This is like in between. This is purgatory right now. He go against Omos, because Omos has been on the main roster. You feel me? And Omos not a trash wrestler. He's not trash. He's a big dude. He plays the monster role and all. So if he goes through this and can get a victory, like, he has to win. I'm sorry, but like Oba has to win, get through this. They should have their runs. Remember when to get. I know he not a champion yet. He's been an NXT champion, so we could use that. To get Ultimate Warrior to Hulk Hogan, he had to run through Andre the Giant over and over again at house shows and all that type of stuff. That's what Warrior would do. He would go trying to prove that he could beat Andre the Giant the same way like Hulk Hogan beat Andre the Giant before. This is now Brock Lesnar has beat almost at like a WrestleMania and all that. Let's see if Oba can go through his matches at house shows and all, get to an event where he got to be, because they may put Oba. This may be a main card like event. This may be almost might come back up to the main card, and then they do this. This might be their house show things to set up a rivalry that goes on in the main card where it actually happens on like a Raw or SmackDown. So I like this. I think this is a good look. Like I say, whenever we include Oba or almost getting them TV time or getting them involved where they may be moved up, I'm always happy. So this is a good look to me.
Yeah, maybe this could work out for the future. Maybe they could both do something together if they put on a good match, just like we talked about in the Discord on the
yeah. And last but not least, tomorrow we do have another PLE. Shout out to TNA, Bound for Glory, their biggest PLE of the year. We will have for the TNA World Championship Trick Williams versus Mike Santana. Yeah. So I just want to get your prediction real quick. Do y'all think Trick Willie comes out of this still the Trick and they champion, or does Mike Santana finally become the face of TNA as they've been trying to make him for a while now, and Trick can go do bigger, better things? What do y'all think?
I think that I think Trick should just win and just drop the belt and walk off.
Just give me like I'm done. I'm too big for this, Steve Austin.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but I wish it would. I think Mike beats him, and like I said, as a result of Showdown, it's because some former NXT guys, not former, but they some NXT his teammates, either the Born Kid, Javon. I love Javon does it, but Ricky definitely could show up, and say like, "Yo, you left me," and that kind of a thing. And Trick can get the pinfall. I wouldn't like it, but it'll be something like a roll up or something like that. Something like, boom, 1, 2, 3, like it got me. That kind of a thing instead of a clear and decisive victory for Mike Santana. And Mike wouldn't care. You know, he got his Bound for Glory TNA champion moment, so he'll be fine. So I think that's the way it should go now. I will prefer the swaggiest type of way is just him to drop that shit and keep it moving. But I don't think that's going to happen. So let's go with that option.
You saying like back to back? So like last show on Tuesday, he kind of like said "FU" to NXT, and then like at this show after he beats Mike, says the "FU" to TNA and say
that's the way his character will look like it will do. I don't think they go.
Awesome.
I don't think they push. I don't think they press the button. I don't think
they can. I think they have to reward TNA. They gotta. It's this what you get to. You gotta reward TNA. I just don't want him to lose cleanly. How about that one? Like you said, he cannot. This can't be a Mike Santana. I'm sorry, Mike. You can't cleanly beat Trick Williams. You gotta get outside interference or something where people are trying to, or even if the TNA roster came out and helped them out. You feel me? Kind of like a Undertaker, like you use Undertaker references. Remember when the whole roster came out and helped Yokozuna? Like that type of thing. We tired of this and all that. We want to help you out.
I think the internet community came out against the Oba and Ricky beating him clean. I understood it. I think everybody kind of understood it. Like, okay, you're definitely going towards the Ricky era, but not this way. Like it was just, it definitely left a foul taste pause in a lot of people's mouths. That's the second time I said that. So I agree with you. It has to be something else. You cannot have the same thing and then be like, okay, well, Trick's I got it, Oba's I got it. Both of them just lost. So I know it's like it's once they hit the main roster, it doesn't really matter. But when both of them do it, it makes people remember that way more than it just being a one-off between one of them. They both can't lose that way. That's crazy.
I agree. Travis, you got anything you want to say?
I mean, shoot. I mean, if Trick loses, then shoot. I mean, he's going up to the main roster. Like it's just simple as that. I mean, I really don't care, like, you know, how each person wins or anything like that. But I mean, if Trick loses, then he needs to go up to the main roster. It's just simple as that.
I didn't say it. Do y'all disagree with me? I think Trick already, I've said it already, is one of the most popular wrestlers in wrestling right now.
Yeah.
So that's including main roster and all that. I think he's one of the most popular wrestlers in wrestling already, and not on the main roster. Yeah, that's crazy.
Like if you was to ask somebody like random people, like who's your top 5 wrestlers, either throughout the whole WWE roster or whatever, including NXT, or even your top 5 NXT superstars, Trick Williams gonna come up or probably on every one of them lists. So,
well, we got to start throwing respect on other. Okay, I'll say this, and you're right. First and foremost, King, you're right. Let me get that out the way. NXT, I think, is no longer developmental. It's no longer that.
No, it's not. That's LFG and LFG and Evolve.
That's LFG and Evolve, yes. So it's its own kind of thing. It's just not the premier one. So it ain't JV though, but it's not Vault. It's something
they
else.
have to, not to cut you off and you can finish your point. If they don't, they have to recognize the NXT championship. It doesn't get, you feel me? Like they have the TNA championship is still a world championship. NXT not a world championship.
Well, let me say this though. In continuation, they kind of say it when the wrestlers are on the main roster. It might not come up in their stats, but they do say former NXT champion.
champion.
Like I've heard that about a lot of people. and TNA is TNA, right? We just did it. We just did a montage on AJ Styles, of how great he was in TNA. So if he's great in TNA and NXT is starting to get more love, and it's not developmental anymore, it's just another lane. Then if Trick is the best of both, just like the best person in AEW, just like the best person on the main roster, just like the best person in TNA, it's Trick. So he's bona fide to have that type of stature that you're talking about. He's the best guy on this particular on these rosters. So it's not far-fetched to say that he's not that great of a wrestler. Yes, he is. He should be top 5 because he's number 1 on those brands.
They treat NXT as developmental, kind of like when you're talking about Trick. You feel what I'm saying? It's the use, like I kind of talked about this with Rel the other day, narratives for certain conversations. So it's developmental, but like you just said, you got guys like Swerve, Hangman, what's his name? John Moxley, all that type of stuff. AEW, they're seen as the faces of that. As people like, oh my goodness, they're big. Even Edge and all that stuff. When Sting was over there, they called big wrestlers. They was over there. When TNA used to be back in the day, Jeff Hardy, Ric Flair, Booker T, Scott Steiner, Kevin Nash, Kurt Angle. It was seen as a big company where it was like, okay, they won a championship. You're the star of that guy. No, even if they weren't as big as, they were never as big as a WWE or nothing like that. But for some reason, with Trick Williams doing this, it's not seen as big. And I hope it is. I hope maybe we just saying that right now, and that we got to see when you go to the main roster how they build him. I hope they have to build him as a champion already. Like that's what I'm saying. They cannot do that fallback already. He's already a champion and continue this story, but I don't know what they're going to do, and we'll see. But BA, to you, bro. What were those that wrestling T brought us by?
Good people over at Playback.
Yes, sir. Thank you to our friends over at Playback for this segment. Pause. If you're tired of the national media and the annoying ways they sometimes cover sports and other events, give the Glow Sun Production channel on Playback a try. We cover new and old school basketball, wrestling, and geek culture. And just recently, we've added boxing, mixed martial arts, anime, and even video gaming. So if you have time in your busy day, give our channel on Playback a look and check out some of our replays while you're at it. Another special shout out to our favorite app, Playback. Back to the show. Yes. Thank you, Playback, our favorite app. If you haven't already, please create a free account over there. We're trying to get to 1,000 members now. We got to 500, maybe like last season, doing my other shows and all. But we're trying to get to 1,000 members. Free membership. We show all kind of stuff over there, even Saturday night main events and other things as well. AAA shows. So become a member over there. Help us out. Thank you to Playback. Let's get to the questions and comments.
Sponsored by True Classic.
Always wanted to try True Classic, but hate shopping online? Keep watching. You've probably seen our ads online. Look, I get it, you're skeptical. I mean, is everything we sell really as soft and well-fitting as we say it is? If you need to try us before you buy us, True Classic now has stores nationwide. Visit one of these stores and you can fit, feel, and outfit a bunch of our customer favorites. So don't wait for shipping or worry about how much to spend. Visit one of our retail stores today and see the True Classic difference for yourself.
Hey, shout out to True Classics and our guy DDP over there. But let's go to the questions and comments. Got our guy Latte first. He says 5 words. John Cena is the GOAT. I asked this in the Discord. Question to y'all: is John Cena? Quick response. John Cena, is he the GOAT, and when did he become the GOAT? If he is. No one. So he's not the GOAT?
I don't know. I think it really comes back to his longevity. Is that a lot of us were probably right out of high school or in high school when we were introduced to John Cena, because he's post the Rock's interest as the Rock.
He's
the
right at
Rock.
senior year in high school and all that.
Yeah, so I think a lot of it has partially to do with nostalgia. Like at the end of the day, like all the other people that we mostly have watched before that are retired or they're jobbers.
Okay. All right, so we going with him. So nobody has Mr. GOAT, I guess. All right, I don't have Mr. GOAT either, but I understand. He's up on that Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I don't have as my goat, but I understand why people would do that because I mean, a lot at the end of the day, he does encompass a lot of things that people look for in terms of he's the longevity. He's great on the mic. He does have a decent like move set, you know what I mean, like that. So he's entertaining. But at the end of the day, I think it more just has to do with the fact of now that he's leaving, people are having the conversations now comparatively. And I feel like if we even look back at a bunch of his old matches, we would probably feel a lot differently about them than we did then.
Facts.
You know, and that's also because we're older and we have our own biases towards the brand, you know, individual biases towards the brand and what we expect of the brand or want the brand. Plus, for me, it still comes back to the fact that he started out as a wigger. Like, I mean, that's the elephant in the room for me is that he can't be on my goat for that. Like, at the end of the day, he never has done anything to be disrespectful or disrespectfully to me. But his, like, at the end of the day, they wouldn't let a black person be that character.
Hmm.
And a lot of black people already can rap too. You know what I mean? Like, they can freestyle too. They can do all that stuff and it not seem disingenuous to their flavor. Like, that's not his flavor. That's the prototype. Like, that's what I remember. That's the prototype.
Hey,
You know what I mean? He was
prototype.
Mr.
My guy
Prototype
with the
back
box
then.
cut.
Yeah,
Latte
with the
also says
box
the
cut, just looking like a robot. So yeah, that's
yeah,
why I think a lot of it just is it is mostly nostalgia. But I mean, I
nostalgia.
don't have no hatred towards John Cena at the end of the day. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Same.
he entertains me.
Same here. Latte also says the PLE, I missed half of it since it's too damn early on a Saturday. Need my sleep before the ALCS. Shout out to your Blue Jays starts. He said the crown jewel, I will give it a solid C plus. Ending was man. Facts. I'm with you, Latte.
Yeah,
He says,
I'm with
I know was not happy about, I guess he's saying, okay, this one. I know King was not happy about Cody losing. He's a secret Cody fan. I feel you. Whatever, man. I always enjoy Cody. Like, it's not like he a bad wrestler, no. He's just and just predictable when you see him. Just like, this is about to happen. It's like, okay. Latte early again. That match was really the highlight, but Reed winning in his hometown was pretty much written on the wall. Not complaining that. Yeah, facts, Latte. What up, our guy Kai from Black Couch Booking? What up,
what's
to Salute Family? Definitely check him out if you haven't already. Y'all check out Black Couch Booking. That's our guy right there. He was on the last show. If you haven't checked that out as well, either. We did a simulcast. Appreciate you, Kai, bro. Latte said the ladies' match was okay. I knew Stephanie was going to win the crown jewel big title. I ain't complaining that either. Yeah, I thought Tiffany should have won though. I didn't know why Stephanie won it. That was the only match I had wrong.
You were saying she's too popular right now.
I feel you, but she could have took the L though. Even being popular, Roman Reigns popular, he took L. Cody Rhodes popular, he took L.
But like what BA said, his aura is wearing off. His mystique, he's slowly losing mystique.
Okay. Latte also says NXT. I watched some highlights they deliver. It's very interesting. Yes. Kevin says now people want to see Maxine getting a big push because of one match. I don't know if it's a big push, Kevin. Because
not a big push. It's just like a little bit more.
Foolish with them dudes. What is it? What's that group she with?
It don't matter no more because it's only
right.
Tanaki or whoever left. Like
Otis gone.
When the last time you seen Otis with her and him backstage?
He AAA now.
Akira.
Yeah, Akira's we talking about. Kevin also says Bailey character for me not working. Yeah, Bailey just boring to me, Kevin. In general, I'm sorry. I know she came up with the force, but she just can't. She can't grab. I don't know. She can't grab the audience to me. Like I know they try to cheer for Bailey because of what she was, the NXT come up and all that stuff, but it's just all. I don't know. It feels phony whenever her act. Maybe it's just her acting is just phony as hell. Like I don't know, but Bailey just is. She's corny to me. No matter what she does,
she about to be like Natalya.
She needs to be. And Natalya more interested in her though. Yeah. That's how I feel. That's the crazy thing about it.
That's true.
I wanted Natalya to get a push when she had the opportunity, but they decided to make her like the enhancement person and all. But Bailey, I'm like, yeah, be enhancement. Mm-hmm. That's good for you. Kevin also said 100% agree. This is 2025 Mysterio, the Hardy Boys, many other time to retire. Also, that was awesome. That was my favorite part of the whole event today. When the audience yelled 619, 619. And John Cena did the audible and told AJ Styles run to him like he's about to do a 619, even though he wasn't going to do it and all. That was awesome. Kevin said Botchamania gonna have a lot of new material from NXT Showdown. Yes, yeah, that Hardy Boys match. Woo! And your girl, I was saying, bro, you know you want to say her name. I'm gonna say her old name. How about that? Jakari Jackson. Oh man, bro. It's like, damn, I know why.
Yeah,
I know why
I wasn't going to
WWE
do it. I wasn't going to do it.
I know why WWE let go of her, bro. That was horrible, bro. Like, and why can't anybody audible from a mistake? Do they not prepare them for that? The audible from a mistake? Like, bro, she made a mistake. Why are y'all still selling when they don't touch you? Latte said, I heard there's a lot of reasons wrestlers today, a lot of releases wrestlers today. What's your thoughts on that? Which one didn't deserve it, or is another that he mismanagement talent? Only one I really knew about, really real talk, was Wes Lee. I couldn't believe that they let go of Wes Lee. That's crazy.
Right.
Damn.
Because I ain't really know nobody else besides him.
Wes Lee was always involved in all that stuff, though. That's why I'm like, I don't know. Kevin says Solo Group needs a female member again. Nikki Cross. Yeah, BA was talking about that actually before we started the show and all. He said looking for somebody. We said myself and Travis said we think a Tamina might finally get involved, but he said he wants some new blood. And I was like, I don't know if there's any women as far as in the bloodline coming up with nothing like that. Somebody else.
I looked it up. It's at least 7 of them, right? That I'm just making up right now. But I think it's like 7.
Oh man. It said Bound to Glory tomorrow. She erases versus referee. Who erases who's referee? Who? Queen? Queen, you said something about a referee? You only she up here. I didn't think you said nothing about a referee. He said, here we go again, guys. Relax.
Nothing about Bound for Glory. I don't even know nothing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Man, that's gonna say who's ready for Bound for Glory.
Ghostface said the moment Cena almost started crying while looking up the Bray almost got me. Not gonna lie, that was the best match in this entire retirement tour. That part was cool and all. I don't know if it was the best match though. I don't think this is better than Cody Part 2 or I don't think this is better, in my opinion, Ghostface. I don't think this is better than Cody 2. I don't think this is better than Randy, and I don't think this is better than CM Punk.
It was just the moments.
Yeah. Latte said NXT call up next, either Lola, Jada, Lash Legend, maybe Soul Ruka and her buddy. So Soul Ruka and her buddy, they doing a little try right now. They're gonna fight for the championship and all that. That don't mean they're gonna come up. I think it's gonna start their rivalry though. It's gonna start them to break apart and then go on and they're gonna come up. Lash Legend is allegedly, I heard this is news from your boy Dave Meltzer. Take this with a grain of salt if you want to. But he said Lash Legend is supposed to come up sooner rather than later and be one of the ladies in the on the heel side of the women's War Games match. She's supposed to be beside what is it? I think it's gonna be Becky, Nia Jax, Lash Legend. He said, who am I missing? Give me women. Give me who the heel women right now? Chelsea Green. I think it's gonna be someone else. I can't remember. But he said,
the question. So, is you thinking she's gonna be on SmackDown according to like that list of women? Like,
I don't know because I think it's gonna be between
like SmackDown women's names.
It might be. Who's the Raw? No, Becky on Raw.
Becky's on Raw.
Yeah, so she might be on Raw, especially if Trick gonna be on Raw. Whatever show she goes to, Trick Williams going to.
Yeah,
that's probably how it's gonna go. So if she goes to Raw, then Trick going to Raw. Hopefully.
And I say let Jada have a good NXT Women's title run. Like she hasn't had like a good significant. They got to take the belt off of Shorty, JC Jane or whatever. Take the belt off of her. And just let her.
I don't mean it like she's trash
on NXT. She like not everybody needs a call up. Let's say that
she's not.
JC Jane don't need a call up
much when she gets called up. I think JC Jane.
Like
that's what I'm saying. So she can stay where she's at as long as you. I mean, sometimes people gonna give you the option. You get called up, you might not make nothing, or you can stay here. You can be one of the top tier people. So that's up to her for it. But Jada should have a nice little NXT run as being like the main woman in charge, and then get her call up a little later.
She Chelsea Green in a way. JC Jane gonna be like Chelsea Green, but gonna be
a lower grade version of Chelsea.
Yeah, she's not gonna be
because she's not even funny.
You feel me? Yeah, she's not going to be over like Chelsea Green. Then they're going to have to put her on Raw or something like that because you can't have it with Chelsea Green because it makes no sense. Like, you feel me? So I don't know. They giving up both the titles and doing all this heavy pushing on. I'm like, why for JC Jane? But and then she took the L against Rhea Ripley and them, the champion, on her six-woman tag team match. The champion took the pinfall. But hey, Latte says Cena as usual carrying these bums. As usual, I'm sorry, carrying these bums after 25 years. Hey, he also says Trick Willy Wonka, no pause, is going to win. That's my guy, man. They gotta bring Trick. It's over. It's over. I'm really if Trick come up, the show is Trick, man. The way Trick controlled the audience, on that promo, BA, like you said, they were trying to boo him and what him and all that stuff. And that's what I be saying. Like, you gotta control the audience. It's like dance with him and all when they talk and stuff. Tell the audience, man, when he said somebody yelled out of nowhere when they got quiet. Santana's going to beat your ass. And he looked at him and said, I'm going to beat your ass and all that. So I said, yes, Trick. Yes. He talked about going to rehab and then he had to tell his kids, no, he went to rehab. He told him to send you back to rehab. Like, yes, thank you, Trick. That's awesome. But yeah, man. That's overall.
Quick question though, for while we're here. Cole, that top rope Cody cutter. I haven't. How many times has he done that against Seth?
Jumping up the top rope?
Yeah. He's done it before?
I don't know, but yeah, he does a top rope Cody cutter. It's a super cutter. Oh, you mean you talking about the crossroads? You talking about?
Yes, I'm sorry, the crossroads. Yes.
No, I've never seen the avalanche crossroads. That was the first time I've ever seen an avalanche crossroads, and the first time I've ever seen a coast to coast headbutt. Like he did a Crispin Wall from coast to coast and almost destroyed his left arm.
That's Seth being Seth. Remember we talked about the injury, like the fake injury.
Is Seth? I know. No, you don't play around. Is Seth safe? Bret Hart talked about this before a long time ago. Is Seth safe?
He always hurt. He always hurt himself. I don't know if he hurt others.
He always hurt. He always hurt. He hurt others too. Remember Sting? He basically forced Sting into retirement. He stopped. What's his name? He stopped. What's his name? Travis Boyd, Finn Balor. Remember, first Universal Champion. He ended Finn Balor, right?
I know he was fighting. I don't remember the incident. That was because of Seth, though. I know he was fighting Seth.
Yeah, that was because of Seth. Remember. Hold on. Remember John Cena getting kneed in the nose, the crooked nose. Is Seth Rollins safe?
That's too much. That's too many to me.
I'm just saying it's a bunch of injuries.
I'll say this. The match that John Cena had with AJ when they was doing different versions of power drivers, he would not have that with Seth. I'll say that. It takes a certain kind of wrestler that you got to trust it without a shadow of a doubt to perform certain moves. So I'm surprised Cody even did his move. I'm surprised he did that off the top ropes with Seth.
He basically,
he controlled it. He controlled the whole thing.
Like that's him. He landed on his back, taking a back bump. He just made sure Seth was good and all by letting him go and all that. So, right, bro. I mean, I'm just saying, like Seth has a track record now. I'm just saying of stuff. Remember, he stomped on Roman Reigns' face. Royal Rumble.
Yes.
Yeah, when he got eliminated.
Oh, you remember that? Oh, okay. But Latte says good show, y'all. But no, not so much about Crown Jewel. Woke up just for Cena doing an RKO. LOL. I don't know who the hell this guy Rel is, but he says yes. He must be a Daniel Bryan fan. But thank you for joining another episode of We Talk Combat, y'all. Again, if you're new to the channel, one more again, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button by BA's left shoulder near that box barcode. Also hit the like button while you're here, so that you hit the like button if you're here. Also, other folks can also get this type of our show in their algorithm. Other folks like yourself, hit that notification bell while you're at it. So if we do have shows on special dates like today, we did after the PLE, or if we have a normal Sunday show at 3 p.m. or sometimes we have different times. I don't even know when the set time is anymore, guys. Just hit that notification bell so you're always in the loop about that. Do us a couple favors while you're at it as well. Follow BA, as he said, that guy Rel, Big J, and Will on Cuz We Geek, where they talk about all things geek culture and movies and television. They had a show earlier today, just a little bit before this. I'll have to watch and see what you guys talked about. But check them out. They're trying to get their subscriber goals. Next goal of 500 subscribers. Help my guys out. Also, BA, Larry and Calvin, the 695 crew. Those guys. Help them out and get off the damn fence. Subscribe over there. They're trying to get to their first goal as well of 500. I'm giving them a goal of 500 subscribers so they can do that. Help them out over there. If you like old school basketball, new school basketball, check myself and Roll Out on Cap and Crown. We try and get to our next goal of 5,000 subscribers. And we do playback watch-alongs and all as well for NBA games where you can actually watch the game with us. And then we do recap shows now after the games on Mondays and Wednesdays. So follow us over there. Is there anything else I forgot, y'all? Cap and Crown Clips again. You haven't followed us over there? Follow that. But I think that's about it, yeah. Another great episode. We appreciate everybody that came here for We Talk Combat. So we talk all things combat, sports, and entertainment. The blackest sports and entertainment review show on YouTube. And we'll see y'all next week. Same combat time, same combat channel. We out. Peace.
Peace.